Have you ever found yourself inching forward in traffic, completely fed up with the lack of progress? Then suddenly, out of nowhere, you find yourself yelling at other drivers or even crying behind the wheel. If you've ever had one of these intense emotional outbursts in traffic, you're not alone. And you might be surprised to learn that you have some company. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, nearly 80% of drivers have experienced road rage at least once in the last year, with women displaying more irritability than men and young adults aged 18 to 29 showing the highest levels of anger. What is it about being stuck in traffic that brings out the worst in many of us? To understand why we go from 0 to 100 when stuck in traffic, let's first consider a few questions. What do you think about when you imagine getting stuck in traffic? Maybe you picture yourself calmly listening to music as you wait to move forward. Or perhaps you envision yourself becoming increasingly frustrated and agitated. For some, the mere thought of being stuck in traffic evokes feelings of anxiety and dread. Others may laugh it off, thinking, "It can't happen to me." But no matter our reaction to the idea of traffic, the reality is that it's an experience we can all relate to. Now, take a moment to recall a recent experience you had that involved being stuck in traffic. How did you feel during that time? Did you feel angry, impatient, stressed, or even a sense of panic? Perhaps you found yourself reacting intensely to other drivers or even engaging in risky driving behaviors. On the other hand, maybe you managed to stay calm and collected throughout the delay. Whatever your experience may have been, it's important to acknowledge these emotions as valid responses to a frustrating situation. Being stuck in traffic isn't just a momentary setback. It's a full-blown assault on our psychology. The quiet hum of the engine becomes a mocking soundtrack to our mounting frustration. And as the minutes drag on, so does our internal turmoil. In this intricate game of stop and go, our patience isn't just tested, it's put on trial. And the verdict is often a surprising eruption of emotions. In today's world, where we're all terminally tech-frustrated, traffic jams seem like the ultimate test of our sanity. Forget what you think you know about traffic jams. It's not just about being late. It's a meticulously engineered pressure cooker for your mind. So buckle up and prepare for an eye-opening ride as we dive into the unexpected psychology of traffic jam meltdowns. You're not late yet, but you will be. You watch the seconds tick by on your phone, each one a tiny hammer blow to your mounting frustration. You glance at the clock on the dashboard and realize you're already running a little behind. A wave of panic washes over you. You're not late yet, but you will be. The realization hits you like a ton of bricks. But what if you could reframe this situation? Instead of seeing the ticking clock as a countdown to disaster, you can view it as a gentle reminder to slow down and breathe. By shifting your perspective, you can transform a potential meltdown into a moment of clarity and calm. It's all about finding the right mindset to navigate the unexpected twists and turns of life. Have you ever noticed how a small act like someone cutting in front of you in traffic can send you into a rage? We often find ourselves questioning, who do they think they are? This seemingly minor event acts as the straw that breaks the camel's back, causing our irritation to overflow into anger. But there's more to this reaction than meets the eye. When we get cut off, we experience a sudden loss of control and autonomy. Our carefully laid plans are disrupted, and we're forced to adjust course unexpectedly. This infringement on our personal space and schedule activates our amygdala, the brain region responsible for processing emotions like fear and anger. Our heart rate and blood pressure rise as we react instinctively to this perceived threat. At the same time, our prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for rational thought and decision-making, goes offline, leaving us vulnerable to the raw emotions of the moment. This primal response is hardwired into our biology, a remnant of our survival instincts from a time when threats to our safety were more immediate and tangible. However, in the modern context of traffic congestion, this reaction can be disproportionate to the actual severity of the situation. In the heat of the moment, it can be challenging to recognize that the person who cut you off may have their own reasons for doing so, such as avoiding an accident or dropping off a passenger at a crucial location. Their intentions may be completely innocent. Yet we tend to focus on the injustice of the situation and the disruption to our plans rather than the underlying context. This narrow focus contributes to our heightened state of arousal and reinforces our feelings of anger and frustration. Ultimately, these seemingly minor interactions serve as powerful triggers, propelling us towards a traffic-induced emotional outburst. If you're stuck in traffic, try reframing the situation instead of focusing on the negative aspects. Remember, you're not alone in this. Everyone else is experiencing the same frustration. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that this situation is temporary, and it will pass like everything else does. Why does a minor traffic delay turn some people into road rage monsters while others remain zen-like in the face of gridlock? The answer lies in the psychology of frustration and the delicate balance between our perception of time and our need for control. Imagine sitting in a traffic jam when you could be almost anywhere else. Stuck between the urge to reach your destination and the tantalizing what if of an alternative route. Your brain doesn't just register the delay objectively, it experiences it emotionally. The precious minutes crawl by, making you feel like time itself has ground to a halt. And as the minutes stretch into an eternity, your inner monologue shifts from "I am running late" to "I'll never get there." It's not just about being late, it's about losing a future that seemed within reach. But why does this trigger such intense reactions in some and not in others? The culprit is our brain's craving for immediacy. In a world where we swipe, click, and receive instant gratification, waiting feels alien. But here's the paradox. While we despise waiting, we're often unaware of its true cost. Being stuck in traffic isn't just about physical stagnation. It's also about the stillness of unmet expectations. Here's a thought experiment. Picture two drivers stuck in traffic, both equally frustrated. One driver, focused on the present, observes the cars around them and acknowledges the delay. The other driver fixates on the lost future, visualizing all the things they could have done with the time they're now wasting away. This mental time travel creates a sense of loss, a grief for a future that's been snatched away. When we dwell on this loss, we enter a psychological minefield where patience is the antidote to anger. So why does traffic bring out the worst in many of us? It's because we lose our sense of agency. As the wheels of our car remain stubbornly still, so too does our sense of control over our lives. We yearn to be in motion, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. But the gridlock holds us hostage, forcing us to confront the limitations of our autonomy. How can we make sense of the unexpected and protect ourselves from the pitfalls of frustration? Stay tuned to uncover the strategies that can help you navigate the unpredictable roads of life. You wouldn't honk at a train, would you? Picture this. You're standing beside a railroad track watching a long goods train slowly trundle past. You notice that the train is moving at a snail's pace, its progress blocked by another train ahead. Impatience begins to build within you. You start tapping your foot and checking your watch, muttering under your breath about how long this is taking. At that moment, a man steps out of his car and walks toward the train. He approaches an open carriage and climbs aboard. Woman inside calls out to him and asks, "Where are you going?" The train isn't moving. He smiles and replies, "To my destination." Don't you realize the train always reaches its destination regardless of the obstacles in its path? The woman responds with a puzzled look. "That doesn't make sense. Why don't you take the car?" The man simply smiles again and says, "Because sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination." And there you have it, folks. Sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination. And when we get stuck in traffic, we gotta remember that, too. Now that you've made it to the end of this video, it's time to put your newfound knowledge to the test. Keep an eye out for those signs of traffic-induced tension in yourself and others. And remember, stay calm, take a deep breath, and embrace the journey. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow me now, or you may never see such content again.